been wondering what happened to agents in CS2, you're not alone. Today, I want to break down where they went, why we haven't seen new ones, and when they could realistically come back, because I think there are signs that something big is coming. The last time we got new agents was during the final operation back in 2021. Fast forward to 2025, and now that's an extremely long gap for Counter-Strike standards. Since then, we've had no new operations, no new agents, and almost zero communication from Valve. On the surface, it looks like agents were quietly abandoned, but I don't think that's really the full story. What makes this interesting is everything else that's been happening very recently. First, we lost the rare drop pool, which I already covered in our previous video. That alone is massive. Then Valve removed the Anubis package from the in-game store, something they've never done before. Historically, once an item enters the CS store, it stays there indefinitely. Removing it breaks a long-standing pattern that Valve has always done. But why now? To me, this doesn't feel random. It feels like Valve is clearing some space and preparing for something in the future. One possibility that crossed my mind is that older cases could eventually become purchasable directly from the CS2 store, similar to how we can buy souvenir packages during majors. That alone would be huge, but I don't think that's the main reason. I think there's something bigger being prepared behind the scenes, and that leads us to the big question. What if the first major update of the new year is in operation? It would actually make sense. CS2 desperately needs a momentum shift, a true Hail Mary update that re-engages players, fixes the market and instability, and gives the community something to grind again. Operations have always done exactly that. Now here's where the whole idea of the video comes in. Agents are coming back into the conversation. Historically, new agents have always been tied to operations. We haven't received standalone agents releases outside of that system. So the reason we haven't seen new agents isn't because Valve forgot about them, it's because there hasn't been an operation to attach them to. Another important detail is map-based factions were removed in CS2. This was controversial at the time, but it likely wasn't an accident. My honest opinion isn't that the old faction system probably is never going to come back, but that doesn't mean agents are gone forever. Instead, Valve may be shifting toward operation-specific or universal agents, detached from map lore and more aligned with monetization systems like the Armory Pass. And yes, this part is speculation, but hear me out. What if the Armory Pass is only part of a bigger framework? Imagine clicking a new arrow or tab in the menu that opens a limited time operation page, missions and agents, cosmetics, and progression all tied together with new collections. That would explain why certain systems feel really unfinished right now and things are being removed. It might sound like a stretch, but Valve has a history of quietly laying the groundwork for months on end, or even years, especially with the sticker slab update. I feel like that probably took a long time to code. And I feel like all of these updates all around are connecting to one big thing: the Avengers of all updates. Also remember this, CS2 is still in its early life cycle, even though it officially released on September 27, 2023. That was only 816 days ago, and I think it takes a long time to replace core systems and things being rebuilt, rebalanced. Even community projects have noticed this gap. A fan-made CS2 project called Project Lockdown recently teased custom agents with original skins, something Valve hasn't touched in years. When the community starts filling voids like that, it usually means demand is real. Let me show you real quick. So do I think agents are coming back? Yes, but only when the next operation arrives, and I don't think the Armory Pass will replace that. And the longer Valve delays that operation, the more pressure builds for something to be massive. Now, I want to know what you think. Do you believe we're getting a new operation soon, or do you think agents are gone for good? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the graveyard. Peace.